Yeah, try to avoid the bumps as much as possible.
Not a licensed driver. Stop at stop sign.
Yeah. I would stop a little bit further forward so you can actually see what's out here.
Oh, nothing. So. Well, if anything, this is good driving practice.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You think a lot of these people would already know this?
Well, I haven't driven in a while.
Now there's a neighbor down here who's stopping at a like 20-minute conversation with you about it.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the car taking what was happening. Tell me if you want to take the reins when we get back or not.
Oh, you're good. We can do a few laps here if you want.
I don't want to hog up the fun to myself.
Well, I've already done some laps. I don't get to see it like this, so I like to see it. In fact, I might get a little bit ahead of you. We're going to turn right here. I don't get to see it from the front much either. Oh, you're good. You're doing good.
So slow, actually. Pick up a little bit of speed.
Yeah. Oh, just go ahead and coast to a stop here. Bring it to a stop. And turn on your lights.
Oh yeah, what a convenient way to turn the lights on.
There we go. Let's see if the back one works. Yep, that one works too.
Note so, take your foot off the pedal when you're not driving.
Yes. Looking awesome.
I feel pretty, well, I would feel pretty awesome if I wasn't so focused right now and not ruining this project.
No, you're doing great.
Well, I'm not doing much at all. I don't know why I'm doing it. Okay, right?
Yep, go right.
You know, there's something kind of sad about this. It's like, it feels just about the same level of stability that I felt in the Jeep.
In the Jeep? Yes.
Yes.
It is a lot like the old Jeep.
Like, it riddles and rattles the same way. Probably shouldn't be looking at it.
Yeah. Well, part of the rattle thing is that it's electric, so there's no engine noise.
Yeah, so it doesn't drown it out.
So it's not drowned out, exactly.
That's on you.
Yeah, this time roll up to the crosswalk to stop, so that you can see. Okay, we're good.
Joker behind it.
Yep, you're doing good.
And a bike.
I see that. I'm going to move out of the way here. You're good. You're doing great. Yep.
I can't tell.
Here, come on, get some speed on here. Good place to check the speed. The road's smooth and it's a short push. Okay, I want you to pull up, parallel park it next to the driveway of a car that needs to pass. Oh, never mind, they pulled in. You're good. Keep going.
Oh, is there a car in this tunnel?
Yeah, it pulled in though.
How the lights look?
Lights are looking great.
Okay, well, not functional.
What's that?
They're not functional design. I can't see anything.
Oh, that's just because it's so light still. When it's pitch dark out here, they actually work. I tried them out.
You drove in the pitch dark in this thing?
Shh. It wasn't pitch dark because the lights worked. Is it going or is it cutting out?
No, that's just me.
Oh,
Letting off the gas. And my foot's so big it's hitting on the wood thing. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sliding my foot down just now.
yeah, you have to kind of position your foot right so it doesn't get in the bind there.
Well, listen, this feels pretty fun.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm so surprised you let me do this.
Okay, okay, now let off the gas pedal and see what happens. Yes, good. Regenerative braking is working. Come on, keep going.
I just thought we were doing this
I could see the voltage go up when you let off the pedal. I mean, went up really high.
The battery?
Yeah. It went up to full voltage basically when you let off the pedal. Yeah.
Is that?
Yes, it recharges the battery.
Well, I know it does, but like, does it do it significantly at all?
I forget what the exact numbers are, but I would think that it probably adds, I don't know, 10 to 15%, I don't know, 30. Probably not that high. Probably more like 10% more range.
More efficient than the stupid stop at the stoplight thing in our car.
Oh, the gas thing where it auto shuts down, yeah. I think it's worth more than that. With an electric, you don't have to, you're not actually turning anything off when you stop. So it's not like you have to get an engine running again. The motor is not really affected like a gas engine. Gas engines are really inefficient when you shut them off and turn them back on again. But an electric motor, it's just a switch and it just goes more or less. Another lap. What's that?
Am I giving you a workout or something?
No, I'm doing great.
Well,
8 minutes and 40 seconds. And you were going for like 15 seconds or 20 seconds before that, so we're done about 9 minutes. I'm curious to see what the range actually is. Oh, Grand Tour, Top Gear, yeah. I think they shot the last of both of those now. Yeah. I think there's a car show coming up, or we may have just missed it. One of the two.
I meant like a literal, like, publicly broadcasted car show.
Oh, a car television show. Yeah, there's still shows.
Alright. Well, I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
Not Top Gear, Top Gear's the next one.
Right.
Grand Tour, whatever. Grand Tour makes cars entertaining.
Oh, now let this guy back out. Just pull up next to this tree and stop. I'll get a view of your stoplight in the back here. One thing I haven't done yet is actually wire in the brake light.
Just a piece of leather thrown on a wood.
No, those are actually, we had a pair of rocking footstools that Mom got at one point. Whenever she had you two as little guys, and went with her rocking rocker. And anyway, they're all torn up and everything, so I was going to throw them away. And I thought, well, I could use the padding out of them for a seat cushion. And I took the cover off of them, the torn up cover, and underneath the torn up cover, it already had the imitation leather seat cover on it. It was perfect.
Well, what's under it?
Foam, and then there's a board.
Okay, this foam is not doing its job.
It's needing more foam.
Yes.
You don't have enough cushion. For some reason, I never had that problem.
I'm very skinny.
Yep.
Driving is one of the scariest things that I want to learn how to do.
Well, you're learning how to do it.
Yeah. Like my main problem is the whole start stuff. What?
What's that?
My main problem is the whole start and stop stuff. What I did with the four-wheeler.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, iron that out.
Right. I did. Thanks.
First bit of public recognition.
Yeah.
You really get a lot more.
Yeah.
I think you've driven this block a lot.
Well, you didn't hear the first guy. The first guy who went by thought he liked it too.
Yeah, no, I forgot about it.
Yeah. I like being able to see it from over here. I don't get to see this angle usually.
What are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking that if I had it all to do over again, I'd go for the next size up on the front wheels, just for the proportions.
You can't critique it that much. It still took a lot of effort.
Yeah, I'm pleased.
What are you trying to do with this video that you're recording?
It goes on YouTube, so all your friends can see it.
I'm not too opposed to that, but maybe cut out our conversation and put music over it or something.
Here, I want to ride on the other side, so you get ahead of me a little and let me pass behind you. Okay, that's good. I want to see what this side looks like. Yeah. Give it a honk on the horn. There you go.
That's loud.
It is. It's a real horn. It's for an antique auto. I got it on eBay from somebody up in Detroit. Detroit. So yeah, it was on a real car at one point, a real antique car. I put a new bulb on it so it'd work better. The old one had turned very hard and was just falling apart.
It looks like a bugle.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it, a bugle horn.
Well, a bugle you blow in.
Yeah.
Can you blow in this one?
Yes, you can, and I tested it when I first got it because the bulb was broken. I blew into the end of it, and yeah, it works.
Before you blew it?
I cleaned it before I blew it, yes.
Did it work?
Yeah. Worked fine. I know, that's because you're not giving me any room.
Well, I'm not
Okay.
trying to drive on the right side of the road.
It's British. You're okay.
Well, everyone else uses British.
Yeah. Okay, you can get past me now and take your side. I'll come around the other side so it's more comfortable. What's that? Yeah, I'm proud of it. It's neat. I'm proud of you too for driving.
You could ever drive it in a like the air show if it ever works that long?
Yeah, if we can get the endurance to be what we need, I'd like to drive it in a parade. Like the 4th of July parade would be perfect for this. This would be perfect for it. Except, of course, it's British.
I bet you'd have to get like licensing.
Do you want to make a loop here and then go back the other way so you get the chance to turn the other direction? So turn left.
First roundabout.
There you go.
Very good. Now do I turn this way or this way?
You're going to turn left. Same route, just to the left.
Where's the left? Terrifying.
Yeah. This is a stop sign up here, so you want to do what you did on the other stop sign this time. Just kind of roll up. Some nice sound effects we have for it.
There's two types of cool cars. Actually, there's only one. Antique cars are the only cool cars. But there's two types of flashy cars, which are antiques.
Yeah. And loud cars.
Yeah.
They're antiques. They're cool cars and loud cars. Sometimes they're the same, but not always. You can get up to a little speed here if you want. Okay, you're doing about 30 now. You can start letting off the speed so I can catch up.
I realize I'm going faster than I am.
Yeah.
I drive just like I drive a motorbike.
Yeah.
But
That's the way driving should be. It should feel right.
with the motorbike, doing this
Yeah.
is it's really fun. I've really driven around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, come to think of it, it's kind of weird. You let me drive stuff more, but not the motorbike.
I don't think you should be driving the motorbike on the street.
We're not on the street, but I'm not used to moving around a lot.
Yeah, I've done some practice on it, but that one you have to keep them. Yeah, that one you have to keep the motor running, so it's a lot. There's a lot more to think about.
It's also more expensive, so don't break it.
Yeah, try not to break it. The funny thing is that it's not really that much more expensive. I guess it's about a third more since it's got 3 wheels instead of 2. That's about right.
I expect that biking may be really expensive. Or not really expensive. How expensive is that?
It's been a long time. Let's see, that was like 12, 14 years ago I made the bike. So I think if you went and bought all the parts nowadays, it would probably be about $1,500 or $1,600 to build the motorbike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's because this one here is about it was around 2,000 total. But I spent that money over the course of 20 plus years as I picked up parts here and there. That price is the current value price for the parts. When I bought them, you know, like the wheels, I've had those wheels for 15 years.
How much do you sell this thing for?
Somebody would have to walk up with some real money, enough money to where I could build 2 of them.
So if somebody walked up to you with $10,000, would you take it?
I probably would,
Okay.
because I knew I would know that I could build a couple of them.
Maybe you build probably one more and then use the rest of the money on us as a family.
Or,
Okay. You make a manufacturing business with these guys.
yeah, you build 2 of them, one for yourself and another one to sell, and you just keep doing that. That's kind of the theory behind some of these places that replicate aircraft and military vehicles and antique vehicles. You know, they keep turning them over, and that's what pays for everything. But then they can keep stuff too, because you know the ones they turn over pay for everything.
That's very odd.
Wow, that's 20 minutes of driving so far.
I'm not driving
No, we're not, but still, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a respectable amount of driving.
For one battery life, too.
Yeah.
So, like, even when this like shuts down, I could probably restart it and still keep going for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Theoretically, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm having a lot of fun too.
This car is, well, it's certainly not probably the most fun car to drive. But it's more fun than a comfortable car just because it's old.
Yeah, it has the vintage feel. You feel like you're doing something, you're motoring.
I feel like I'm special with this car.
Yeah. Yep. I think you can say you're probably unique.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other Morgans in Texas, but nothing that's this vintage look. The ones that I know of in Texas are, I think the next oldest one I know of is like from the late 30s. Yeah, one of the guys at the aerodrome actually has it. Remember the one you saw?
Yeah.
At the air show one time? Yeah. That guy actually has two, or had two, I forget. But there was a modern one and a vintage one.
They make modern Morgan?
Yes, yes they do.
Can you really call this thing a vintage car if it was made with mostly replicas and wood?
Well, it's a replica, but it looks like a vintage car.
The oldest model car.
And it depends on the way the law is in your state and everything too.
What about
In some states, you can license a replica as a vintage vehicle. In other states, you can't. You have to license it as new.
Texas?
I'm not sure about Texas.
I wouldn't put a license plate on this thing because you wouldn't drive on the road.
Yeah, you don't want to meet a semi with this thing,
No.
right? You don't want to meet you don't want to meet a Civic with this thing.
I've seen a couple past couple cities.
Okay, I'm going to ride behind you for a bit and get a different view. What's he doing? He's stopping. I think he's parking. Yeah, he's parking. So look both ways and then we're good to go.
Fun part is I look old enough to drive this thing. I'm not.
Well, as a neighborhood electric, you are. So,
Legally I am.
yeah.
But
Cool, we still have 77.3 volts, looks like.
how long does that go for then?
I think you have about one more volt to run through.
Previously, did go through all of its volts?
And it has a acceptable range. That's why it shuts down. Is once the voltage drops or the amps drop, one of the two, if it drops below a certain range, then it shuts down. That's a safety feature to keep you from destroying your battery.
Theoretically, still has life in it though.
Yeah, there's still power in it. It's just that, you know, it shut itself down before it gets into a range that's not good for the battery life.
I can't believe you spent 20 years on this thing.
This is the version 5, I think.
Do you know how to, if this thing broke down and you had all the money to replace it, do you know how to make it again?
Yes, I've even written a book. I just need to, I got it published. I have the author's first draft on the shelf, but
Yeah, I know.
I want to publish more of them and then let other people see how I built it. It has like parts list and has how I did it. It's not an instruction manual on how you do it. It's just a story of how I did it.
Yeah, so they can't copy you.
Well, they could do what they want. That's their project. I'm just telling the story of how I did it. But this thing's got some really great advantages. Like, for one, it doesn't have, there's no welding in it.
Yeah, so an idiot can do it.
So an idiot could do it,
Theoretically.
theoretically. Yeah, everything is bolted together. So that's what a big hurdle for a lot of people is not being able to weld.
Are they pulling out?
No, they haven't started. No, they're just setting their
Oh,
alarm.
they're getting out. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a big hurdle for a lot of people. But this just bolts together from stuff you buy at the store. It's mostly Home Depot with a little bit of Chinese thrown in. And it's got the Worksman wheels.
What do you work?
Worksman bicycles. They make extra heavy-duty wheels.
For mountain bikes, right?
They're actually for heavy-duty industrial bicycles, but they're used for horseless carriages, which essentially is what this is.
What's a horseless carriage?
People make replicas of early cars, and some of those early cars had wire spoke wheels like these, and so they sell them to people who are making replicas.
That sounds like it.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to do that. I come around the other side, we're on the straightaway. I like the fact that you can carry on a conversation because it's so quiet. It'd be a really neat thing to have a couple of these. You can drive around and just carry on conversations, drive all over the neighborhood.
How long do you think it would take to make one of these things?
From
Trash.
Well,
If you know how to do it.
knowing how to do it, and if I had all the parts sitting in front of me, it could be, with the exception of the fake engine on the front. If you just got a battery on it sitting up in the front in a battery box,
Yeah.
and I had all the parts available in hand to make it, it could probably be built in a weekend. Just because I have all the patterns and everything for the bodywork. If you didn't have the patterns for the bodywork, then you'd have to lay it all out and it would take longer. But if
What's
it,
the engine? What's wrong with the engine?
the engine is built like a model. It's like I found a picture of one in a book, and I found some pictures online, and I was trying to replicate it from materials that I could have here easily, and so and it had to be thicker than a normal actual Morgan engine in order to hide the battery. If you look at it from the side, you can see the battery is that blue thing in there. And I had to make the crankcase part of the motor a little extra thick, but it's pretty simple. It's basically there's a front plate and a back plate, and then there's some pieces of pipe, and then there's a kind of a coiled piece of metal that makes the crankcase, and bolts go through the pipe and through the front and back plate, and they kind of pin in the coil piece in the crankcase. And then I just made a top for it. And the fins are just pieces of circular steel that I cut out, and I put wooden spacers in them and painted them black to get the serrated fin.
This ornament is actually just a metal circle with a screw on it.
Yes, it looks like a target reticule, whatever, for like World War I plane. That was the idea. But yeah, it's very easy. It's just a ring and post. Yeah. And one of the more fiddly bits is I wanted to do that, so I didn't want to have to weld a neck on to do that, so I used an old gas cap and part of a gas tank from a Chinese bike, and just kind of cut it and riveted it in there.
How am I driving compared to everyone else driving this thing?
You're doing great. You're doing awesome.
I want to be people have driven this way.
Let's see. I've driven it. You've driven it. William's driven it. Uncle Chris has driven it. I think Mr. Owl got in it once, I think. And I think that's about it, yeah. I don't think anyone else has driven it.
Who's your wet driver?
Well, you have to be someone who is responsible. What's that?
Did you let Carl drive?
Yeah, I think I'd let Carl drive it. He's responsible.
That's the first one to pick that off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay, stop at the stop sign. I want to go across the intersection. She's back looking at you across the intersection. Okay. Come on. Oh, it did?